And Jerry's from San Luis,
Missouri,
Missouri.
yes.
Yeah. And he so kindly said yes to share with us his week, his journey, his insights. So thank you so much for saying yes.
Yeah, certainly, Paula. Yeah.
So I know it's hard, but I always like to, if we were to sum it down to a sentence, how would you say your week was for you, emotionally and spiritually?
I would say it was what I was hoping for. And what I was hoping for was um, something that was going to be deep and something that was going to be heart opening and something that was going to help me clear some things that I've really had a hard time dealing with over most of my life.
Yes.
That's longer than a sentence. But
Yeah, I love that. That's a good sentence.
Yeah.
And when we were speaking before, you were referring to Ramdas and work that you've done before here.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
can you tell us a little bit about your journey before Rythmia?
Yeah, well, I could go back 40 plus years and tell you when I was laying on the medicine one evening, I had a realization that my life was leading me here, and I had chosen to be here.
Wow.
And I didn't really believe that coming into it. I felt like it was something that I really wanted to do, wanted to experience. But I felt like there might be easier ways before coming here.
Right.
That there's a lot of folks here. We've had everyone I think has some trauma in their life,
Yes.
whether that's something extreme or something just every day that separates you from really who your true self is.
Yeah.
And to go back and revisit that trauma is not a pleasant experience.
Mhm.
So yeah, when I started my journey probably in depth about 5 or 6 years ago, I went the spiritual path. I really wanted to find something deeper than what I grew up with. I think I mentioned to you I was Catholic. I grew up in St. Louis in the Midwest, very Catholic Christian community, very conservative in terms of what we believe the religion to be teaching us, and I didn't really resonate with that most of my life or as an adult. So I started seeking other places. I went to Eastern, started with transcendental meditation. That's more of the philosophy is based on Hindu philosophy, and a lot of great teachers there. The Maharaji, brilliant, very insightful person. But I found in the meditation, and again, I don't mean this to be against any group in particular, but Maharaji has a beautiful message. His message seemed to be pretty universal, and as I saw it applied in that community, it became a little bit more about you have to do it this way.
Right.
So I didn't like that. So I sought the next thing, and I went into Buddhism.
Okay.
And so I studied, the story of the Buddha and all the great teachings that arose from that. And it was great for me actually to experience that and realize that actually he came from India. I didn't realize that Buddha was Indian and was coming from the same deep philosophical Vedic tradition that the Hindus were following. And so I pieced that together. And long story short, as I was piecing these things together, I was really intellectually fascinated with how the Eastern philosophy, if you move into the Christ philosophy, if you move into, I even got into some of the Baha'i movement, the Baha'ism, and I just kept finding the same truth coming over and over and over again. But what I was challenged with is it didn't help this, right? I was getting it up here.
Yes.
It was very intellectually stimulating, something I will never say I regret that experience because it got me to where I'm at today.
Yes.
It made a lot of sense out of what I'm doing today and what we're doing here with this work. But it was very difficult for me to take that intellectual, what they refer to now as spiritually bypassing what was in my body.
Oh, so interesting. So this week here, how did that all of that help you this week? All of the knowing that you had here in your mind.
Yeah, I mean, I told you I would be honest about my experience, and I certainly think it's important, because we'll see so many of these videos. I prepared, of course, like I do. I'm an analytical, and I want to make sure that I understand what I'm getting into before I get into it.
Yes.
So I'm watching the videos, and I'm seeing all these brilliant experiences that people are having, and these wide open, heart-opening experiences. And I said, I want that, but I've had that before in a period of my life, and it wasn't with medicine. but I lost somehow. I lost it. And what I was realizing as I was going through this process of preparing for this was there's some deep stuff that I still need to deal with that I hadn't when my heart was open. So my experience was, it was jumping into the deep end. Monday night, we got here on Sunday. Program starts on Sunday. You know, you did a great job of introducing what to expect through the week, laid out the whole program. I'm like, I'm here. I came here. I need to do this work. I need to do it. And Monday just wiped me out. I was exhausted. I was getting into some things that I didn't know. I knew were there intellectually. I knew that they were things that I thought I had forgiven in my past. But I keep being told, you know, if you really want to live through this, I keep hearing over and over, if you want to live this and get it through, you got to get into your body.
Yes.
And when I got in there, I did not like what I was seeing. Yeah. So Monday was pretty deep, and without getting into the details of everything, I felt like I was a child again, and I was in, mental institutions with my mother when I was growing up, where she was committed, and it just seemed like all of that was revisiting to me, and I started to realize like that was my fear.
Yes.
That was the thing that I had to face into. And so I did that Monday, and I said, this is what my week is going to be.
All right.
So my week went on from there. And the experiences went on from there. And I'll say every night got a little bit easier.
Yes.
And, you know, I don't want to say this in a way where I'm implying that you can intellectually figure this out. But I realized I don't have to give up my analytical mind to go through this process. And I started figuring out, like, I can actually, control's not the right word, because control assumes that implies that there's some thing that I'm doing to manage this process. But I did realize that I can interpret and I can glean messages from the things that I'm seeing. And I'm being taught a different way of dealing with them. Yes. And the more I let go of it's me that needs to do this, like they tell you, all you need to do is let go. It sounds so easy. And tell me how to let go. And nothing that I ever learned could teach me how to let go until I got onto this experience. Wow. And it was just, you know, every night when I was trying to control with my mind, it would say, oh, you think you got this? I brought my bracelet to protect me, my black tourmaline bracelet to protect me. Like, again, 5 years ago, I never would have been into any of this, right? And it said, oh, you think that bracelet's going to protect you?
Wow.
Yeah. And so I said, all right, I took it off on Wednesday night. I said, all right, we're going to do this.
Okay.
But I tell you, Paul, it started out very challenging mentally and emotionally and physically. Tuesday night got a little bit better as I started to figure out what we were trying to do in terms of forcing things. Wednesday night, I started to feel into my body a little bit more. And it was telling me, you know, as I was feeling it, you know, there's a better way of being in a flow. Yeah. And then last night, Thursday night, the whole experience was, it was what I absolutely needed to do to get to our miracle. Yes. And again, I'm not going to say my miracle was, you know, some great epiphany, and now I'm going to walk into the world and I'm going to be Ram Dass tomorrow. Right. Ram Dass would tell you he doesn't want to be Ram Dass. You know, before he passed away, he said, I never want to be anybody's guru. But what I do know is that I started the work to do the things that I need to do to become the person I want to be in my second half of life.
See, but that for me is the miracle, that little shift in perception. I get to go within. And so sometimes, and I think Ram Dass will talk about this, we like to go out there.
Right.
And be flying in the cosmos, which it happens.
Right.
And sometimes the medicine, depending on who you are in your journey, it says, oh no, you're going within.
Right.
You go into the depths of your being, and we're going to clean up whatever is not in alignment to the next stage of your own evolution.
Yeah, exactly. And I've chased those experiences for so long, you know, and I love that you use the word medicine and that you've reframed it for me here. Because when I came down here, you know, I still had this idea that this was a drug and there was some magic answer in the drug. Right. And I've tried the drugs. I've tried the alcohol. I've tried all these things that I'm trying to feed that hungry ghost, as the Buddhists would say,
Yes.
right? That spiritual yearning that I have for something deeper, and they would get me there temporarily,
Yeah.
right? And they worked for so long in my life. They worked in the way that they worked, and what I've learned is they were working not by bringing me up, they were working by pushing things down.
Yes.
And so that works for a while, but at some point it just stopped working for me, and I realized that whatever I've been holding down is keeping me tied here at a lower energy, as you said.
Yes.
And as I have experiences where I'm up there, I want to be there, but I want to be there so I can come back here.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I want to come back here for my family. I want to come back here for my loved ones. I want to come back here to be in service, because that's what Ram Dass will tell you is you can be a yogi that moves into the cave and do that for the rest of your life. Great for the yogis, right? What's that doing for everybody else?
Right.
Right. And so I think most of us were on a journey to figure out, how do we become better people?
Right.
Because it makes us feel better. And when we feel better, we start to resonate at a different level that helps everyone around us feel better.
And when we were talking about the concept of the medicine, for me, it was very clear. One day, randomly, I went to the restaurant, and Taita Juanito, one of the shamans that come here, he's serving his food. And in Spanish, he said to me, "Are you going to drink remedio? Are you going to drink the medicine?" But the way that he said it, I was like, oh, this is what it is. I've been working here already for a while.
Yeah.
This is what you drink to heal the soul, to go to the depths of your being and clean up what's no longer serving you.
Yeah, no, I think language is such a fascinating, it's something I really gotten into over the last couple of years. And I would say as my training as a lawyer, I use language creatively as a job, as a thing. And I know how important it is how to change contexts with the word that you use, and very prescriptive. And it's, I speak one language, right? I'm American, so apologies, but I do international law, and so I work with a lot of different people who speak a lot of different languages. And I say my job is to be an interpreter, meaning if I have a client who asks me a question and I need to go to somebody in a local country to deal with that question, we all speak English together, but they're asking me a question, and I know my client, and I know what they're asking, and I know why they're asking it that way. And then I go to my local contact and I ask them that question, and they come back with an answer, and it might be the right answer, but it's not the answer that's going to come back to the client in the way that they want to hear it.
Yeah.
So I need to figure out, well, what are the words that you're actually telling me? And so we spend a lot of time just going back on being very prescriptive about the words, so that my client doesn't get frustrated with.
Right.
And so tell me why this is the answer. So you brought up language. You've used the word remember a couple of times.
Yes.
And this word has come up to me a lot in some of the work that I've been doing recently. What I love about you said remedio. Remedio, right? Remember is just remember. You're already a member. Right? You're remembering to something better, something deeper, right?
Yes.
Or religion, right? Ligio in Greek is connection.
Oh.
Reconnecting. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with religion, right? It's what we've done with it, because it's not bringing us to our core truth anymore.
Yeah. It's not connecting us sometimes to our true selves.
Yeah. If we're not looking at the deeper message.
Yeah.
And I think this medicine gets you to a place where you can turn some of this off for a bit, right? And it may not be pleasant when you're going in, what you're going to find,
right?
But it's there to help you.
Yeah.
It is like medicine.
Yes.
Going to bring up some things that need to be cleared,
yes.
and ultimately that is healing, and that's what I'm finding. As we get to I need to heal. So that's been my experience here. As I've gone through from, all right, take the drug, get high. That didn't work. Take the medicine. As I started to hear it, I'm like, okay, I get what medicine is. I understand that my medicine's not always pleasant, but it's bringing out all the impurities, the bad things, the things that I've learned to believe about myself that aren't true.
Right.
And so this experience has been,
so beautiful. And in Spanish also we have, I would say traditional medicine, or like the grandma would say, as a kid, if you get a stomach upset in your stomach, it would say, have something to purge that out. like we need to purge you out. That's what grandma would say to me in Spanish, la purga.
Yeah.
And that's what the medicine does. It's like this medicine that will help you purge the impurity in the form of thoughts, emotions, belief systems. So yeah, fascinating, the language.
Yeah.
And you said something very interesting, that there was a moment where you were punishing yourself.
Yeah.
Which I thought is so interesting, that belief that we need to suffer, that we need to punish ourselves.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I can be honest and candid about my own situation, which I guess I can be because it's me.
Yeah,
I don't need permission.
Right.
I grew up in a challenging environment. It was a loving, beautiful family. I don't hold any, and I'm starting to appreciate the life lessons that I'm getting from that. That said, it was very much a, you should be seen and not heard. There was some pretty corporal punishment techniques that were used, and in going through, some of the challenges that I had with my mom going in and out of the hospital, and seeing the way that the Western medical community treated that. I felt like I should have been there to do more. I was 11, right? But I always felt like there's so much more that I should be able to do, but I don't know what or how or what. And I would punish myself. And I feel like there's a lot of, like, gosh, even in the religious traditions, the Opus Dei tradition, there's a whole sect of our population that believes like the only way to truly purge yourself is to be through punishment. So I went into this experience and I didn't realize I was still holding that belief. As I went through my first evening and, this purge, which is such a beautiful concept, can be very painful if you're not in flow and you're not in your body.
Yeah. And
so I was rejecting. I got this message on Wednesday. What you're doing is not purging. What you're doing is rejecting. Oh. And so, yeah, I mean, that was another element that got me from the way that I'm used to purging, like, just forcing out something evil. Like I'm trying to get to the bottom of something that I just can't get to. Like if I just keep going, I'm going to find this thing, and I felt like I was going below trying to go below the energy. Like there's this sickness in me and I'm going to go below that and I'm going to get it out that way. And I realized that's never, you have to go above it. And the more that I raised my vibration this week, the more that I took in the beautiful music as it came through, or the scent of, or the experiences and all the, the oneness that was available in that room, with the community that was available, and everyone was just such, we were all so in tune, 70 people in a room.
Wow.
And, you start to feel like everyone's in their own, they're bringing their own thing, and it's all just making beautiful music.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I just need to be part of that. I need to do, and that's, I don't need to be rebelling or rejecting it. I need to figure out how to let my body take that in. Yeah. And I found the lower parts of me didn't like that.
Yes.
They did not want to go up there. And I said, if I kept reminding, if we're going to move to this energy, if you want to come with me, you can. If not, we're going to let you go now.
Right.
And we're going to let you go, and we're going to thank you for being there. You helped me through so many painful moments in my life. So many moments where if I would have believed I was worth everything, but people kept telling me I'm not, I would have just continued to have all this pain and all this strong emotion. And as a 9, 10, 11-year-old, I couldn't deal with that.
You needed to create a personality that protected you.
Right.
So that's why we do it, because we want to protect the weaker parts of ourselves.
I put my armor on.
Yeah.
And I just built up this
armor. You had to, right?
Yeah, and I did. And I judged that armor for a long time. I said, how do you turn yourself into your father, right? How did you become that to your son? And I felt like it needed to be punished.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. And then?
Yeah. Well, and then, the realization came to me is the medicine kept telling me, are you done yet? Yeah. Right? Are you done punishing yourself? Because there's a better way. There's another way to do this. And, I wish I could say that I got it the first time. And I had these nights where, I would be talking, in myself. I didn't have any these big visions or these voices. Like I realized all the voices that I were having rolling here. And they would say, oh, you believe this, right? You're going to let this, you're going to, and I would say, oh, it's really strong. This is a strong one. And I started talking to more people. They're like, yeah, I've been hearing that too.
Yes.
Like I thought, oh, I have to be I'm the
only
one, right?
Yeah, right. That's what
I'm the
shame
one.
tells you. You're the
Yeah.
only one in the world
Yeah.
that thinks this way.
Oh, this is going to work for them, but you're never, you're redeemless, right?
Right.
You could never have what these people are having. And the medicine said, all right, you can believe that, and we're going to keep doing this. Finally, I just laid on my mat one night and I said, I'm just so tired. I can't carry this anymore. Please help me.
Yeah.
And every time I started to feel that way, I just turned over and I said, please help me. Please show me how. Show me how to get in my body. Show me how to be in my body. Show me how to do this purge, right? Show me how to do this in a way that's more in flow with the universe. Yeah. And and it just, I hope, I trust that what I've learned here will continue to integrate.
Oh, yeah.
And in the way the program is structured, I was telling you.
Yes.
Put so many pieces together. Like this is not just medicine, right? This is medicine along with practical experiences that I've been practicing for a long time: meditation, breathing, filling your mind with nutritious thoughts, food, being very conscious about what you're eating. All things that I've been aware of and trying to do, but not really incorporating them into a holistic lifestyle. And everything that we've done here, from the first day that we got here to the morning preparation, to the course that you were instructing around The Answer Is You, all these things I've heard before, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I get it. This is what it means, right? So again, it was the medicine is very helpful, but when I go home, I'm not going to have medicine, right? I'm going to have me, and I'm going to have the situation that I left. And if I want anything to change in my life, it starts here. So how do I incorporate these practices now that I know a little bit more about how? And I am going to continue to ask for that help, right? Whether it's, I used to think asking for help means I need to go to some other people. And yes, that means that. It also means looking up and saying, I need help. Tell me how to work this new body that I have, these lungs that I got here. How do I work? There were nights when I was laying on the mat saying, oh, I need to get up. I need to show me how to use my legs now. Show me how to walk across the room.
How I hear humility in that too. So you sell your cleverness,
right? And
then you say, just bring it. I don't know. Just show me how. Show me how to start again, like a baby, like a child.
Like a child, exactly. Yeah, and I learned this concept of the beginner's mind, the child's mind. Right, it's very prevalent in the Buddhist community. How do you have the child's mind? And I can look. I mean, my kids were young. I'm like, such a beautiful experience. What are you seeing in there? It's so neat. I want to have that again. I just never knew what that meant or how. And again, this concept of letting go, it sounds so simple. But until I've gone through this experience, I never really knew, like, how do you do that? Like, just slowly. I brought a picture, like Jerry was talking about. Why do I do this? I do it. I had intuited a few months ago, like, oh, I'm trying to rediscover my inner child. I'm trying to do this. So I brought a picture of my baby self. I forgot I had it. I packed it in my bag with all of my work stuff. And I shouldn't be saying this, but I left a lot of my work stuff in my bag all week, just responding to the immediate stuff I had to. And I pulled it out. I wanted to write a forgiveness letter. It's a big thing in Course in Miracles. I wanted to write a forgiveness letter last night for my parents and invite them. And I did that, and I saw my baby picture. I said, oh my gosh, that's why I'm doing this. So, I would love to say that we merged and we bonded, and we did, but it wasn't some experience where, I got on a dragon's wings back and we flew up into the space. It was, I feel peace. First time I can breathe. Like my throat chakra has been closed. My throat has been closed for so long. I just, I learned what it was to breathe, like how to really deeply breathe. And that's the number one tool I think I got from this, is all the things that I've been doing with breath work. I wasn't embodying my breath. So I think coming out of this, like I said, there's been so many different things that I can take. I will take the medicine. I will appreciate that experience. I will come back at some point, because I know now that this is a daily practice. This is every day you wake up. You've been so great at these sessions. You come in and you've got these great quotes that I see you at lunch today, and you're like, I'm so tired. Like that's what we need to see, right? We need to
Right,
see
the real,
right.
the rawness of
Right,
us.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, because we're all just, we're all playing the
yeah,
roles that we're here to play,
yeah,
and our egos never leave. We're always going to be part of that.
yeah.
The thing is how do we be part of that, but enjoy it a little bit more
Yes.
and be at peace with it?
Yes, and keep chopping wood and
Yes,
carrying water.
exactly. Yes, chopping wood and carrying water. Yeah.
Oh my God, Jerry, this has been such a rich interview. Thank you for your wisdom and for
thank
your
you.
heart. It's more than I was expecting. So
Good,
thank you
good.
so
Yeah.
much. Thank you so much. I just want to say a quick hello for you guys. Hello, Cassandra. Hi, Karen. Hi, Karen. So good. Coming back. I can't wait to see you again. Darren Jacob. Yay, Darren. Love you. Mindy, can't wait to come to Rythmia. Yes, Mindy, we're going to be here. Good to hear you. Highlander. Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you. Sasprayam. Great work, Jerry, says Alexandra. Beautiful chair, says Bernadine. Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you, Jerry, for being so beautiful. And it gave me.
I hope you can feel this was genuine.
Oh my God, I feel fuller now, more energetic.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So we will see you in the new year. Have a beautiful weekend. Have a beautiful Monday. Tomorrow, not tomorrow, but the day after Monday, it's a beautiful day. This is December 21st, I believe, is the
winter solstice.
Yes,
and Jupiter and Saturn.
It's an important day. So hope you set your new intentions, and maybe we'll see you here at Rythmia. Have a great day. Goodbye.